Yes, hello everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. And indeed, it has required a shift in paradigm to teach those subjects online. I will give you a few examples of how we have coped with those challenges. Now, from the beginning of this remote learning period, our strategy has been to use those online platforms which are already familiar to our school. And for us, it's G Suite, Google Classroom, Google Meet, Google Forms for feedback. And we are following the usual school timetable, keeping in mind that the students will need more time to finish their tasks than usually. Together with our teachers, we have analyzed critically our curriculum, and we're keeping in mind that the curriculum is based on learning outcomes. It's not time-based. It's week 6 of a remote learning period now, and we are discussing how to do final grading, and is it possible to do some final grading of the learning outcomes already. Some other very important parts of our strategy have been having online meetings with teachers every day during the lunch break via Google Meet. This is similar to what Sigrid mentioned, that you need this teacher's lounge, you need something where you can ask your questions, talk about your problems, share your success stories. This has been really great. For students as well, we actually have a subject in our school called teamwork and self-development. And it is based on team coaching. And during this remote learning period, we have continued it. So the team coaches meet up with students, also using Google Meet, about once a week, and discuss everything that might be on the table right now, like how to keep up my motivation, or how to plan my day or my week during this period. The emphasis is on self-directed learning. All right. Now those very great challenges. How then to teach very practical subjects such as painting or drawing or form studies online? Stereotypically, those things happen in a studio where there's teacher and the students and they interact a lot. Well, a few things from our school. First of all, keep your headlines flexible. This is very important during this period. Some students will need much more time to finish their tasks. Our teachers, as I mentioned before, use Google Classroom or Blogger to gather students' artworks. For example, in Google Classroom, you can have shared folders of the artwork students have done at home, and then it's easier to analyze them and give feedback. A great thing with Google resources also is that if you give feedback using Google Meet, you can record it. There are some students who cannot participate in the lessons during the time the lessons happen, and if the feedback is recorded, it's really great that they can listen to it when they have time. Because right now we have to keep in mind that in some families there are like 4 kids and like 2 computers, so you have to be flexible. Yeah, and the teachers too, they have been really clever. They use outside resources such as, I don't know, TEDx talks and things like that. I think a really great challenge for us was form studies. So form studies is something that usually happens in a studio. The students and the teacher, they use clay for modeling. And the usual task is that they model the nose and the lips of Michelangelo's David. So when this remote learning period started, we were really looking for solutions. How could students do this? And we found a program called Sculptris. It's free to use, and it's really easy to use. You have this a head, or a shape of a head, and you can start modeling it really easily. And for warm-up, our teacher let the students model, for example, the heads of anime characters, just to get them going. Figure drawing was another really big challenge, because figure drawing happens also in a studio. You require a model, lots of analyzing, and so our teachers, drawing teachers, tried this, and it was a great success actually, because they found a really good online video bank for the models. And you can see some of the drawings from this course actually on this slide. So our teacher said really that you can teach those things online. That was really great. Actually, a big part of our studies require computers, and also very specific computer programs. So similarly to what Sigrid said, we are also borrowing computers to students. We are very fortunate that Adobe has let everybody use their programs, such as Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator, for free. So all the students can use those graphic design programs at home. Well, whatever equipment is needed, our emphasis again is on flexibility. So when, for example, at school we used graphic tablets, it's totally okay to use pencils at home now. Or when you need some specific paints like watercolors, you can use whichever paints you have at home. And here is a great chance to be really flexible. So if you don't have any paints, you can use what you have at home, because you can even paint with coffee. And about paper as well. This is a challenge if you don't have this canvas at home. And one of our teachers gave a really good tip that you can even use, the cover of the shoebox. If you cut away those small edges, you can use this as canvas. So be creative, and you can practice anything at home. Another teacher actually switched to miniature paintings, because then you need really smaller paper and less paint as well, because some students have like very small paints at home. So moving on from those really practical examples to our admission exams, which happen in July, we use the National Online Study Admission Information System, which Ted mentioned, for applications. Our applicants are from all over Estonia, and usually they come together to our school. They have an exam in the morning and an interview in the afternoon. Now, considering the situation in the world, we are now considering that we will give the exam task to the applicants a week before the exam. They can do it at home, and probably we will organize the interviews via Google Meet, so we don't have to come together physically. No crisis should go to waste, it has been said, and in our school, the experience has been that the teachers are collaborating more than ever before. We have classes like mathematics and composition happening together, so two teachers giving the students the class. It's really great. There has been a shift in paradigm, I think especially in visual arts. We have dismantled this stereotype that you can teach visual arts only in a studio. What has also been very great is that online classes are actually more suitable for some students. They really enjoy those online classes. Well, it's week 6 now. We're meeting with all our teachers, professional learning communities, with emphasis on what to take with us from this experience. We have recorded classes, an updated resource material bank, and probably we can take much much from this experience with us to the future and have a sort of hybrid learning in the future as well, which gives a lot of freedom and opportunities. Some national networks have also been very helpful. Ted also mentioned them. There are in Estonia national networks for heads of studies in vocational education and educational technologists and school leaders. It's really great. If you don't know what to do, you can ask a colleague and then we will come up with solutions.